Vital Hoops is for the culture.
Peace, Jumbo. Welcome to the Vital Hoops Podcast. My name is Fernando Cardenas, aka International XB. I am your host. This is episode number 55. I will be talking a lot about basketball today, but first and foremost, I want to announce Panaf Hip Hop, May 11th, 2024. This is an event that we put together, myself and a few other militants of the Panafrican League UMOJA, the organization that I work with here in France. We put together this event. It's about, hip hop, a Pan-Africanist and revolutionary culture. And like I said, it's going to be on May 11th. We're going to be starting off with workshops, all right, for children and adolescents. It's going to be, we got a beatbox workshop, a break dancing workshop, a graffiti joint going on. Then we have an exhibition, that we put together. We're going from the origins of the culture, to the elements, the 10 elements of hip hop, where we're talking about the Declaration of Peace. We're talking about the industry, gangster rap, quote unquote conscious rap. We're talking about rap in France. We're talking about rap on the continent of Africa. We're talking about rap and hip hop in Cuba. We're talking about the link between the Panthers and Asata and Nahanda and the Cuban hip hop movement. We're talking, all of that in the exhibition. Then we're going to have a presentation and debate. A sociologist will be talking about rap in France and the evolution of rap in France. And I will be talking about the 10th element of hip hop, health and wellness. Shout out to Keith Tucker of Hip Hop is Green. By the way, if you haven't seen episode 20 of the Vital Hoops Podcast, go back and check it out. It is with Keith Tucker. We got into the 10th element of hip hop, and I will be talking about that in the conference now on May 11th here in Paris at Panaf Hip Hop. So yeah, and then after all that, we're gonna have a little debate, on the state of hip hop culture, where it's at, how do we take it back, how do we understand it as a Pan-African and revolutionary culture. And then we're gonna end the night with a concert. We got some dope artists coming through. Shout out to my man Elom Vance. He's one of the big time artists, Elom Vance. And my main man, Blade MC Alim Bai, will be there too. I will be rocking the stage as well for a little bit. We got a few more artists. We got some B-boys. We got some African drumming. It's going to be a huge night for the culture. So if you're anywhere near or close to Paris, France, make sure you get there. It's going to be dope. May 11th, free entrance. You can contribute if you want and help us out, because we do have to, pay for the space. It's called Canal 93 in Bobigny, in the suburbs of Paris. And we did have to come up with all the money for the exhibition, for everything. So we're asking if you can donate, please do so. I'm going to have the link down in the description. If you can donate to our organization, 100% independent Pan-Africanist organization. We put this together, and yeah, we appreciate the help. So that's that. Panaf Hip Hop, May 11th. We appreciate you. And speaking about hip hop, everybody's talking now with the whole Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole thing. Now even Rick Ross is trying to diss people now. If you know me, I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I do like and respect J. Cole and Kendrick. There's some very talented MCs. But what I have to say about it is, a lot of people are tripping over J. Cole apologizing. And I don't feel any negative way towards it. I mean, maybe it's me getting older and becoming more mature, but a lot of people are talking about, the competitive spirit of hip hop, battling and all that. Yes, that is part of hip hop. But what is also part of hip hop, and even more part of hip hop, is fighting oppression. And I feel like that's what we should be focusing on right now as far as hip hop, especially in a time where there's so much fucking genocide, and war going on around the globe. You know, we don't need 2 or 3 or 4 more black men beefing publicly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at Cole for saying, you know, he's at peace. He doesn't want to, you know, go through all that. You know, shout out to J. Cole and shout out to Kendrick, you know, and that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at it at all. I do want these brothers to push consciousness, you know, even more. And yeah. So before I get into, you know, the NBA playoffs and my New York Knicks, I do want to say, you know, big up, much respect to the answer, aka Allen Iverson. You know, definitely one of my favorite players of all time. Allen Iverson, man, so influential to the game of basketball and to so many ball players like myself. You know, he really changed the game, really influenced the game in a major way. And he's one of the greatest to ever pick up a basketball. You know, I respect his game so much. And so, you know, he got his statue. He got his statue in Philly outside of the practice facility of the Philadelphia 76ers. And, you know, a lot of people were talking stupid, saying it was too little, this and that, not knowing that, of course, it's next to a bunch of statues that represent all the, you know, 76ers greats. And all the statues are about the same size, you know what I'm saying? Iverson's statue is, compared to other big times, like life-size statues, it is small. That's how they all are over there. So I thought it was really dope. The statue is dope. I like it. It looks good. It's AI doing a crossover, you know, with the headband, with the sleeves, everything. It's dope. So yeah, much respect to AI. Well deserved. He definitely deserved a statue, without a doubt. So that's dope. Before I get into the playoffs and all that, I did want to talk about, you know, Rudy Gobert. He wrote an article on the Players Tribune, and I actually read it today. And it was pretty dope. Shout out to Rudy Gobert. I respect his game as well, man. I respect his grind, his game. He's a defensive player. You know, I've always liked defensive players. But what I do want to say is one thing. I see a lot of people out there talking about his article and saying like, oh my God, you know what he went through as a, you know, the whole thing with his mother. If you haven't read the article, you know, definitely go check it out. Players Tribune, Rudy Gobert. The article is called "What You See in the Dark," and he kind of speaks about basically his mother's family, because his mother is white, so he speaks about his mother's family not accepting him, you know, and his mother having to get away from her family, you know, because her son was black, basically. You know, he explains that a little bit. He gets into it. And so, you know, I myself, you know, having a white mother, by the way, rest in peace, moms. But yeah, you know, I just want to let y'all know, you know, for all the people that was all, you know, oh my God, this and that, I just want to let y'all know, this is a very common situation. You know what I mean? It's, you know, for a white family to be like, oh yeah, she got whoever it is in the family. Oh, she or he got a black son, a black daughter, and the family to basically quote unquote not truly accept you is some regular shit. I hate to break it to y'all, but yeah, that's pretty normal for us black folks who have non-black family, especially if it's white family. So that's pretty normal. That's nothing crazy. But yeah, like I said, shout out Rudy Gobert. And so please, if you have something to say about this, you know, or you have an opinion or whatever, definitely let me know in the comments. But yeah. So let's get into the playoffs and let's start with the Timberwolves. You know, Rudy Gobert squad, Anthony Edwards. Man, they have a really good squad. And this year, they're actually a third seed, which is crazy in the West. That's a really good team. They're playing the Phoenix Suns in the first round. That's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle for sure. I'm gonna give my prediction. I think the Suns at the end of the day, they have too much offensive firepower and they will win the series, you know, but it's going to be tough. I think it's going 6 or 7 games. It's going to be a tough one. But yeah, the Timberwolves are very good as well. But it was dope to see the Suns make it at the end of the season, to just make it to the 6th seed in order to get away from the play-in tournament. So that was pretty dope. The other big time matchup out west is number 4 seed LA Clippers versus the 5th seed Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are balling. at the right time. They're clicking with the rest of the squad. The Mavs are looking good. The Clippers have been struggling a little bit as of late, but they're a really good team. Obviously, they got horses. They got ballers. So they can turn it up at any time. What will be interesting to see will be if Kawhi starts guarding Luka Doncic. That's gonna be dope. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see Kawhi go hard on Luka Doncic. That's gonna be dope. The problem with that is if the focus is on Doncic like that, Kyrie's gonna go crazy. If you start focusing on Luka like that, Kyrie is going to work, and that's a problem. That's why the Mavs are so good, because both these guys are so dominant with the ball. It can go either way, and they're making it work. Everybody thought, oh yeah, Kyrie, he can't make it work, blah blah blah. He's selfish, this and that. Nah, he's proven otherwise. But real hoopers do that. Real hoopers knew he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie is one of the greatest. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Mavs, but I also think this series is gonna go 7. I think it can go either way. It's gonna be a great series, and whoever comes out of that should be a little bit tired. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, the number 1 seed in the West is the Oklahoma City Thunder. I did not expect them to be number 1. You know what I'm saying? But hey, they got a good young squad, and they're working well together, and it's working. We don't have 7 and 8 seeds yet for obvious reasons. Play-in tournament that happens between the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds. So we'll see. The number 2 seed is the Denver Nuggets, the defending champs. If I have to call it right now, they're going to be tough to beat. I believe they might go back to the NBA Finals. But, it's early. You never know what happens. People get hurt. Other people click at the right time, all of that. So, but they're going to be playing the winner between the Pelicans and the Lakers. We're going to battle it out in the play-in tournament. So we'll see. That'll be interesting. Also, battling it out in the play-in tournament will be the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like seeing the Warriors all the way at the 10th seed, having a battle to make it to the playoffs. That's kind of whack. So hopefully they do make it to the playoffs. I want them to make it to the playoffs, And if they do, they'll be playing the Thunder. That'll be interesting. So let's go to the East. First of all, I want to talk, if you know me, you know I'm a New York Knicks fan, since I started playing basketball since I was a little boy. John Starks and Patrick Ewing, then Latrell Sprewell. That was my favorite player growing up. Then we had Steph, we had Melo, and now Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson, that brother can hoop. I'm not gonna lie, when he came to the Knicks, I didn't know it was gonna be this great. I don't think nobody did really, but he was good. I was happy, but the way he's turned into a superstar, it's so dope. So unfortunately, Julius Randle is hurt these playoffs. But I still think the Knicks can do some damage. As a Knicks fan, my heart speaking like, yeah, let's go all the way to the chip. As the basketball junkie that I am, if I'm being honest, I don't think there's any way they can get past Boston. But other than that, I'm not gonna lie, anything is possible. In the first round, the New York Knicks, they're a 2 seed. 50 wins this season. They're a very good team. So in the first round, they will be playing the winner between Philly and Miami. I hate the Miami Heat as a true Knicks fan. You know what I mean? I hate the Heat. Always have, always will. But I'd rather play the Heat. I'd rather play the Heat than the Sixers. I don't believe we have an answer for Joel Embiid. But like I said, anything is possible. I think they can beat the Sixers as well, but it's gonna be tougher in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully it'll be Heat Knicks in the first round, but we'll see. Hopefully the Knicks can go far. The number 1 seed in the East is the Boston Celtics, which is the best team in the NBA, the best record, and I believe the best team in the NBA. I think they are going to the finals this year. They've been really dominant. They now have the experience as well. Like I said, it's early to call it, but if I had to, I would say Boston and Denver in the finals. Boston wins the chip this year. I would say that early right now, but like I said, it's early. The other side of the play in the East, like I said, the 7 and 8 seed is Philly and Miami, but the other side of the plane in the East, the 9th and 10th seed are Chicago and Atlanta. So they're going to battle it out. I'm going to go with Chicago. I think Chicago can win that one-game matchup against Atlanta, but we'll see. I don't think they'll beat the Sixers or the Heat anyway. So I think the Sixers and Heat are going in as 7th and 8th seed. But we'll see. By the time this episode comes out, actually, we might know. So maybe I'm talking too much. So 4th and 5th seed. This was unexpected. I believe if you asked people at the beginning of the season, they wouldn't have guessed it. 4th and 5th seeds are Cleveland and Orlando. Paolo Banchero, he's been balling. He's been playing very well. But Spider Mitchell's been killing as well. In that series, I'm going to go with Cleveland, man. I'm going to go with Cleveland. I just think Orlando is still too young. Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland. And then 3rd and 6th seed. 3rd is Milwaukee. And 6th is Indiana. Now, Indiana's looking good. Indiana's looking good. And Siakam now with Indiana, that's tough. But, Giannis is Giannis. But there is one problem. Recently, Giannis has been a little bit hurt. He had the hamstring deal. Then he had the calf problems, like a strain, this and that. If he's not 100%, that's definitely hurtful. If Giannis is not 100%, I actually do see Indiana beating Milwaukee. But if Giannis is 100%, no way. Milwaukee's moving on for sure. And that's that for the first round, man. That's that for the first round. I think it's going to be some exciting playoffs. Even the play-in is exciting. So that's dope. I will be talking more about the NBA playoffs and or NBA finals coming up. I haven't been talking too much basketball lately just because, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, a lot of shit that's way more important than, entertainment. But I am a basketball junkie. I do be watching. I do be analyzing. I do be, learning, playing, like I said, watching on a consistent basis. So, on this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit more basketball. So yeah, I want to get into the tournament, also the March Madness tournament that finished not too long ago. So on the men's side, we got to see UConn versus Alabama, a tough matchup. And on the other side, we got to see Purdue versus NC State. Now, NC State, the Cinderella team of the tournament, they were 11th seed, played really well. I enjoyed watching NC State, but Purdue was dominant. They went on to go to the finals and lose to the Huskies, man. UConn doing it back-to-back. Winning back-to-back championships is extremely hard, man. Extremely hard. So much respect to their program over there, UConn champs. That was dope. It was some good basketball. It's still some good basketball, and I enjoy watching college ball, even though things have changed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still some high-level basketball. So that was that. Now the women's Final Four was even more hype than the men's this year. Caitlin Clark, she's been killing at Iowa. She's a baller. Now the United States being the racist-ass country that it is in a racist-ass world, the whole shit was mad racialized. And, Angel Reese over at LSU, she's been getting death threats and all that crazy shit. So yeah, but Iowa got their revenge. They beat LSU. Then they beat UConn with Paige Bucher, who's a baller as well. And they went to the championship game. But they had to face South Carolina and Dawn Staley. Now, them girls, they hadn't lost all year. South Carolina didn't lose a game all year. They beat NC State in the Final Four. And then they took on Iowa and they beat them in the championship game. And hats off to South Carolina and Coach Dawn Staley. Yeah, at the end of the day, it was 2 number 1 seeds in the men's and women's tournament in the finals. So, that says something. But, I was glad to see South Carolina win the chip. And I want to say much respect to Dawn Staley. Obviously as a basketball coach, she's proven there's nothing to say, but she did speak on something that I thought was dope. They asked her about people who identify as women, playing on a women's team. And she said it was fine with her. She said she had no problem with it. And I thought that was dope because, obviously they were hoping to get a different answer, some homophobic shit, some transphobic shit. And I was glad she was like, it's not a problem to me if you identify, if you feel like a woman and you're playing on a women's team, that's fine with me. Basically what she said. And I agree with her 100%. People want to act like that's a problem, you know what I mean? And it's really not. It's really a minority of people, and it doesn't happen much. And, it's something that I believe is a positive thing if we can work with people and just make people feel better, make people feel good, feel right, feel accepted for who they are. So yeah, shout out to Coach Don Staley, man. Now I'm hearing rumors that she might be interviewed for an NBA job. So, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just rumors, I guess. But yeah, I guess it would be dope to see her coach an NBA squad. But yeah, last thing I wanted to touch on in regards to college basketball, Coach Calipari, all-time great college basketball coach. He was the coach of Kentucky, and they underachieved this year. I mean, they lost in the first round. But again, this is a single game elimination tournament. It's extremely hard. It can happen to anybody. But yeah, they lost in the first round. They had a lot of talent, but a lot of very young talent, though. But yeah, he's out of there. He left Kentucky. He signed with Arkansas. Signed with Arkansas, which is already a very good basketball program. We'll see what he does over there, but it'll be interesting to see Calipari coaching at Arkansas. Okay, here in Europe, the EuroLeague playoffs are about to start. Again, for those of you who don't know, the EuroLeague is the second best league in the world next to the NBA. And the Euro Cup finals just ended and Paris won. So Paris basketball is basically a club that is fairly new, at the high level. And there's always been a lot of basketball clubs in and around Paris, but this is like the Paris basketball club now, and they won the championship of the Euro Cup championship. This means they will be in the Euro League next season. So it will be very interesting to see them play in the Euro League. I thought it was dope that they won the Euro Cup. They're doing really well. They have a great team over there. And but I'm looking forward to seeing some of these Euro League playoffs this year as well. This year I'm looking forward to see what Monaco can do. Monaco with Mike James, and they have Kemba Walker over there now. So, they got a very good team, and hopefully they can. I love to see them win the Euro League. So yeah, that's about it. That's what I wanted to kind of touch on the basketball side. As for me, those who know me know I'm still hooping, at a pretty competitive level. My season is going, I would say, not as well as we wanted it to go, but it's going pretty well. We only have 2 games left, so it's almost over. Our last game is on my daughter's birthday, so we're gonna try to get the job done. And we had to finish first. We wanted to finish first. That was the goal in order to move up to the next division. Right now, we're still in the top 3. Hopefully, we can finish in the top 3, and anything can happen. It's still a possibility, but yeah, we're gonna grind it out. There's been some ups and downs this season. The hardest part when you're still at a competitive level, still a serious level, but it's not professional, meaning, guys aren't getting bread. So it's difficult because on one side, you got the guys that are serious, such as myself, that still take the game seriously. And you got some guys who, somewhat take it seriously because it is competitive, but they'll take days off. They'll even take games off. They'll be like, oh, I'm going on vacation with my wife and this and that. So that's a shame. The goal is to all be on the same page. Once we're all on the same page, then we could be a very good team, because we got some decent players for this level. So, but yeah, it's been so like I said, it's been ups and downs, but hopefully we could still make something happen at the end of this season and move up to the next level for next year. That would be dope. I don't have too many years left playing organized basketball. I'll always hoop. I'll always, play ball, but, playing organized, I don't have too many years left. So, hopefully these next couple of years go well. So last thing on basketball, man, if you're a basketball junkie like me, I recommend Mind the Game, the basketball podcast by JJ Redick and LeBron James. Super dope. It's all basketball, really. It's for basketball nerds. You know what I'm saying? If you love basketball, you're gonna enjoy this. But you know, me, I'm not a fan of either of them. I'm not a LeBron James fan, even though I respect him as one of the greatest of all time, without a doubt. And I'm not a JJ Redick fan, but this show is really dope. They're both basketball nerds and they're breaking down the game. They're breaking down plays. They're talking about history. They're talking about what makes a great player. They're talking about how to defend certain plays. They're talking about, you know, all of that. So it's dope. For all you basketball heads, I definitely recommend you checking it out. It's on YouTube and podcast platforms, but it's better to watch it on YouTube. I enjoy watching it because they break down plays and things like that. So it's dope to see it. But yeah, Mind the Game, definitely a dope podcast. So that's it. I'm done for today. Like I said, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to develop on anything else. VitalHoopsPodcast@gmail.com if you want to write an email. If you have some requests, constructive criticism, you want to see a certain guest, you want me to elaborate on a certain topic, whatever it is, hit up the Vital Hoops Podcast. Please check out the Indigenous Nightmare podcast. I had a chance to be on there lately again for the second time with my comrade Vlad. We spoke about Cuba. And we spoke about Haiti a little bit, the importance of Haiti as a Pan-Africanist, but definitely a little bit more about the situation, what's going on in Cuba, and some misconceptions and misunderstandings that people have about the situation in Cuba. So definitely, yeah, check out the Indigenous Nightmare podcast. I'm going to have the link down in the description for that as well. And for our show, which is also with my comrade Vlad and our brother Javierito from EPGNB, one of the most legendary Cuban underground hip hop crews. So yeah, we started our own show on YouTube. It's called HABANA NEGRA, which means Black Havana, and we're breaking down, you know, the situation in Cuba basically, but from a Pan-Africanist perspective, and it's in Spanish. So, you know, that's something that's not going on out there. So if you speak Spanish, or at least you understand it, definitely check us out. The link to that will be down in the description as well. So HABANA NEGRA, check out Indigenous Nightmare podcast, and definitely, like I said earlier on the show, please help us out with Panaf Hip Hop. The link is down in the description. Thank you very much for rocking with the Vital Hoops podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. Go to vitalhoops.net. Vital Hoops is for the people, by the people, for the culture. Uhuru.